Jaya Jaya Navadvipa Chandra Sachi Suta Jaya Jaya Nityananda Raya Avaduta Jaya Jaya Sri Advaita Prabhu Mahashaya Gadadhara Srivasa Pandita Jaya 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 Navadvipa Dhamma Sarvadhamma Sara Jaya Navadvipa Vasi Gaura Parivara. Hare Krishna. Welcome you all who have joined for the Zoom class Navadvipa Dham. So today the 11th episode will be about 3 islands of Navadvipa Dham: Rtudvipa, Jahnudvipa and Modadrumadvipa. So this leaves only one more Dvipa to cover later, that is Rtudvipa. So Rtudvipa is different, Rtudvipa is different. So Rtudvipa we will cover in the next class. And in fact, as the Rtudvipa is also associated with the sannyasa of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, it will be a special episode. And with that, and then also like we did last time about the history of Vamsidas Babaji, this will be special about the sannyasa of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And with that, actually, we will be ending this Navadvipa Parikrama series. So now, in the map of Navadvipa, we have 9 islands. They all correspond to 9 angas of Bhakti, starting from Shravanam. So far, we covered 5 islands so far. So today, Rtudvipa, Jahnudvipa and Modadrumadvipa. So these are the ones. Anyway, so being in Navadvipa during the actual parikrama time is actually the most auspicious thing, in fact. Very auspicious thing. So, every day we take the deity of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu for our parikrama, and there will be so much of wonderful experience as we have devotees coming from all over the world. As we have seen before, every place in Vrindavan is mapped to Navadvipa Dham. This Rtudvipa is non-different from Radha Kund of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Also, I told you before that the 9 islands are the 9 angas of bhakti, and this Rtudvipa corresponds to Archanam process of the devotional service. So all the 6 seasons are present in Rtudvipa. This is something very special. So which is full of flower gardens and lush and leafy bowers. It's so good. On the banks of Radhakunda in particular are dense mango groves inhabited by singing cuckoos. It is so wonderful. You won't believe how good it is. I'll just give a small glimpse of that area. So many devotees come from all over the world and filled with spiritual vibration. So this is something very, very special. And when we covered the Vrindavan Dham series long ago, that we started before we went to Vrindavan. So there we learned that the Radha Kunda is the most sacred place in all the 3 worlds. There are so many scriptures say this. This Radha Kund in Rtudvipa is same as the one in Govardhan of Brajdam. In the Upadeshamrita of Sri Rupa Goswami, we see this verse. Vaikunda Janitovara Madhupuri Tatrapi rasotsavat Brindaranyam udarapani ramanat Tatrapi govardhanaham Radha kundam ihapi gokulapate Premamrita plavanat Kuryadasya virajato giritate Sevam vivekinakaha. So the holy place known as Madura is spiritually superior than even Vaikunta, because Lord Krishna appeared there. And even superior to Madhurapuri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavana, because Sri Krishna performed Rasalila there. And even superior to the forest of Vrindavana is Govardhan Hill. Why? Because he was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various leelas or pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radhakunda stands supreme. Why? Because it is over flooded with the nectarian prema for Sri Krishna. So as Rtudvipa is the hidden Radhakunda of Vrindavan, this place is supremely sacred as well. And when Sri Nityananda Prabhu once came here, of course he came here with Jiva Goswami. Of course he was here all over. And when Jiva Goswami actually later part of all the Leelas, so Nityananda Prabhu was showing the Navadvipa Dham to Jiva Goswami. And when Nityananda Prabhu came, he became so absorbed in the mood of Baladev Prabhu, because he is none other than Baladev. So in his Braja pastimes, he loudly cried, "Oh, quickly bring my bugle. The calves have strayed ahead. They are all running. Oh, Bhaya Kannaya is still at home sleeping and is not here yet. Oh, Subal, Sridama, where are you? How can I take care of all the calves by myself alone? Brother Kannaya, where are you?" So he got into that scene. So the devotees present nearby caught Nityananda Prabhu and tried to calm him. They said, "Oh Prabhu, your brother Kannaya has come as Gaurachandra now. After taking sannyasa, he has gone to Jagannath Puri and lives there. He has left us in so much of sadness, and we are wandering here and there just like beggars." So hearing this, Nityananda Prabhu loudly wept. He was crying. He again fainted and fell to the ground. He came back to his senses after some time and said, "Bhaya Kannaya, why did you become a sannyasi and leave us all?" Anyway, so we will talk about the sannyasa leela next week actually. So he said, "Unable to live without you, I will jump into Yamuna and give my life there." Again he fell unconscious. So the devotees loudly chanted Gaura's name, and after almost 1.5 hours, he regained his consciousness. He then called the devotees closer and said, "This place is the hidden Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda. Surrounding these two kundas, Krishna's midday pastimes, that's called Madhyana Leela, take place. All these are enchanting groves of the Sakhis." So anyway, so when we visit there, it's a very beautiful place actually. Compared to all the other places, probably this is very unique. And you can see what I am saying. Also in this Rtudvipa is a very unique place called Vidyanagara. This is not an ordinary place. Vidya means knowledge and studies. So for the entire Bharata Bhumi, This was the center of Vedic studies and instruction, because we know there are Vedas and Upanishads and so many Shastras that we had. But if we see the whole Bharat, we may be wondering where all these things were coming. This is the place. This is Vidyanagar. In the village, the name of the village is Rasapur. So this is outskirt of Vidyanagar, where actually this particular tree, there are actually a few more of the same kind. Nimoy, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was actually a small boy, when he was studying in the ashram of Gangadas, and Gangadas is none other than Santipani Muni only. Remember in Krishna Lila, he went to study. That was in the ashram of Santipani Muni in Ujjain. And it's the same Santipani was the one who was actually came as Gangadas. So where here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was learning. Anyway, so when he was here, Nimoy, so he planted some wooden pencils, like the writing pencils. He took some of them and then just planted there on the earth. And they grew into trees, right in front. It was growing, started growing and more. These trees are still surviving, as you can see one of them in this picture. So now here is something very important. Many botanists, biologists, botanists came to find out as what kind of tree is this that grew from the wooden pens of Lord Gauranga. How can we believe? So they came and studied these trees, and they concluded that these trees, such trees do not exist anywhere else in this entire world. We don't know what it is. Anyway, Vidyanagara is the origin of all knowledge, as I mentioned. All our Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Smritis and 64 kinds of knowledge actually originated from this place. While most of the Vedas are primarily covering the Karma Kanda, the Upanishads cover the Jnana Kanda, the path of knowledge. Also it is said that the Matsya avatar of Lord Krishna retrieved the Vedas and gave that to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma here taught to the sages and the demigods at the same place, Vidyanagara. Currently we have a small temple at this forest area that you can see on the slide. So many great personalities came here to manifest Vedic scriptures from the divine world. Manu came, Vasistha, Parasara Muni, Yajnavakya, and so many had manifested the Smritis and taught them to the sages. By Sri Narada Muni's mercy, Valmiki Rishi compiled the original Ramayana here and taught that to Bharadvaja and other disciples. And at this place, Dhanvantari received education in Ayurveda. Vishwamutra Muni received education in Dhanurveda. And Saunaka and other sages received education in the Vedas and Puranas. Kapila Rishi manifested Sankhya philosophy at this place. This is not the Kapila that we hear from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is kind of a Nastika Kapila. So he made the Sankhya philosophy. Anyway, here also Gautama Rishi produced Nyaya Sastra, and Kanbuka manifested Vaisesika. And Patanjali, as many those know about the yoga, he manifested the Yoga Sastra here only. And Gemini Rishi manifested Mimamsa Sastra here. And Veda Vyasa manifested Vedanta, Darshana, Mahabharata, the Puranas and so forth. And Devarishi Narada Muni manifested Pancharatra Darshana here, and later he revived and wrote it in Kushuma Sarovara of Vrindavan. Each instructed their specific areas of knowledge to their respective followers. In particular, Srila Veda Vyasa manifested this spotless Purana Srimad Bhagavatam here. He also brought up the meanings of Gayatri Mantra, the essence of Mahabharata and the Upanishad. So many things happened. So this Vidyanagara is very, very central place. And also something very interesting to note is Every scripture, such as Vedas, Upanishads, have spiritual forms as well. So during the during the pastimes of Lord Krishna, they appeared as Vedachari gopis. You must have heard about the Vanachari gopis. These Vanachari gopis were actually the one from Dandagari of forest, where Lord Ram, when they really saw that, they wanted to really have Ram as their husbands, and then it could not be done. Lord Ram said, you will be born as Vanachari gopis when Krishna comes. So that was Vanachari gopi. This is Vedacharis. So Vedacharis have some limitations, actually, because of the position. So they did not have privilege to dance with Krishna, of course, but could only witness the rasa dance. And as Krishna says, Krishna cannot be obtained by following Vedas and Upanishads, because Vedeshu Durlabham. That's what in the Brahma Samhita that we really hear that word. Anyway, so once these Upanishads were worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Dvipa, but since the Upanishads of, the theme of worship was what? That is formless, impersonal Brahman. So Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu rebuked the Upanishads for their impersonal attitude towards the Lord, and he did not appear before the Upanishads as formless, but he appeared in his spiritual form in front of them and told that I will be appearing at this place in Kali Yuga to enact my pastimes. At that time, you all Upanishad should also come personally witness and realize my real form is in a spiritual form. I am not formless. So anyway, now there are many wonderful things about Vidyanagara. Just before Lord Gauranga appeared 500 years ago, Brihaspati, the guru of demigods and Indra, was born at this place in the name of, his name was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was born in this Vidyanagara. He was actually very, very high scholar. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya he made a school and taught here in Vidyanagara. He studied Mayavada, by the way, of Shankaracharya. That is the thing. And he also taught that to his students. But he was thinking, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu will eventually give me the mercy, and definitely he will come to me and then give the real knowledge. He was thinking about, and before Gauranga Mahaprabhu was born, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya left his students behind in Nadia and then went to Jagannath Puri Dham. So he was thinking, if I am the servant of Gauranga, he will certainly be merciful and come to me, he said. But that happened. Thus, Sarvabhauma went to Nilachala, which is Jagannath Puri, and became powerful in the knowledge of Mayavada philosophy. So Lord Gauranga defeated all the students who were left behind here at this Vidyanagara, taught by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and all were, they are the teachers and students, everybody were defeated in argument by Gauranga, and they would flee, from away from him. So that was a unique thing about this place. And what do you really see here? This is the birthplace of that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Before Lord Gauranga went to Jagannath Puri, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went to Jagannath Puri, as I told, where he became a royal scholar in the court of Maharaja Pratapa Rudra. So, Maharaja Pratapa Rudra studied this Shankaracharya, the Sariraka Bhashya of Shankaracharya through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So that's a commentary. The Sankara Bhashya is a commentary of Vedanta Sutra, or called Brahma Sutra by Sripad Shankaracharya. Every sampradaya they have done it, and the Gaudiyas also we really have Govinda Bhashya. Anyway, so after accepting sannyas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sri Puri Dhama, and he became so overwhelmed with ecstasy by seeing Lord Jagannath that he fell to the ground unconscious. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was listening. He was present there. He was astonished. He was astonished to find out, oh, wow, I see all the 8 symptoms. Ashta Sattvika Bhavas are on this sannyasi's body. So he personally brought him to his residence, and also he thought, this sannyasi is so good, I should actually teach him too. Yeah, he was a young sannyasi, right? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very younger compared to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya insisted Gauranga Mahaprabhu to hear this Hariraka Bhashya from him. So without any objection, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu accepted it. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started to give the lectures. So it was going on 7 days continuously. He presented and tried to establish that Supreme Bhagavan is actually Nirvishesha Brahma, formless. Mahaprabhu was silently listening to him for 7 days without asking any single question. Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was worried. Maybe he is deaf or something, or he is not understanding what I am talking about. He did not ask even a single question. Maybe he is not that much intelligent. 7th day, at the end, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was really so worried. Oh, sannyasi, what? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Why you are not asking even a single question? He thought all the 7 days have been wasted in going over the entire Sankara Bhashya. Then Mahaprabhu asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya permission to speak. He said, Sir, I have been listening to whatever that you are preaching, all from this Sankara Bhashya, but they are all rubbish. All are totally false. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was shocked to hear this response. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then systematically refuted every single logic that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was really talking about for these entire all 7 days. It was going on for a long time, and every single logic were all defeated. Mahaprabhu established the absolute truth, being endowed with all. What is absolute truth? Absolute truth is Savishesha Brahma. Savishesha means he has spiritual form. With the unexpected defeat by Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya felt so miserable and got up and left the place to his room. Next day, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu mercifully visited Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's room and showed his 6-armed form, Sat Bhuja form. 6 arms. What are those arms? Two dark blue hands from Krishna holding a flute, and 2 green hands, one holding the bow and the other one holding the arrow, that of Lord Ram. And then 2 other hands, they are all golden color, one holding the Kamandala and the other one holding a danda of the sannyasa of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's pride was completely shattered. He fell at the feet of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and he in fact received so much of transcendental knowledge. And with the mercy of Lord Gauranga, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya instantly composed 100 verses to glorify Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I wanted to show the book, but anyways, that's a book that you see there. It is called Sarvabhauma Sataka, and I have a copy. And love to, because I was reading the entire, all the composition, with some tune. It was really so nicely coming through, but I wanted to record, but I don't know, then I forgot. Here is the first verse. Pranamya tvam prabho gaura tava pade satam bruve sada sayanam sadhunam sukartam me krupam kuru. O Lord Gauranga, I offer this garland of 100 verses unto your lotus feet for the pleasure of the devotees. O merciful Lord, please be kind to me. So he completely was changed. So this is about the Rtudvipa. Now let us move on to the next Dvipa, Jahnudvipa. So another name for the Jahnudvipa is Jannagara. Jannagara. Nagara means actually a big place. Nagara, like the The other one also, Nagara means big place. So Jana Nagara. So in one of the episodes, I mentioned as Ganga Devi was coming down from the spiritual sky, and she was following the king Bhagiratha to flow towards Navadvipa. Ganga was coming down through this island called Jahnudvipa as well. In fact, when Ganga Devi came to this area, she got so excited because of the holiness of this unique dham. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually used to pass through the Jahnudvipa while performing his Sankirtan with his associates. The Jahnvi Muni, there was a Muni, she was actually living here. That is why the name Jahnudvipa came, and he was meditating and worshipping Lord Gauranga, and pleased with his worship. Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared before him in his golden and effulgent form. By seeing the vision of Lord Gauranga, Janu Muni became immersed in infinite spiritual joy, and he requested Mahaprabhu to be able to reside in Navadvipa birth after birth. Anyway, Sriman Mahaprabhu blessed him, saying, when in the future my pastimes manifest, you will be able to witness all those. And now, let us see what happened to this Ganga Devi who was actually flowing through. When Ganga Devi was following the chariot of Bhagiratha Maharaj, she was making so much of rippling sounds as she was flowing along. When she came to the Janu Muni's ashram, Bhagiratha Maharaj paid his obeisances to the sage and continued, while the Ganga was following just closely behind him. As she was entering the Navadvipa Dham, her joy was overflowing. She did not want to leave the Navadvipa Dham. Ganga Devi was dancing with her waves so loudly, and she was not conscious of her own body, spiritual body. And as she passed by the Janu Muni's head, she swept away a part of it, as well as his water pot also gone. And even some other belongings also completely gone in the water. The Ganga's rippling sound, sprinkles of her water and a cool breeze broke the sage's meditation, and he just opened his eyes and tried to see what is going on. Initially, Jahnvi Muni was upset and angry, but in the moment he realized that this stream of water was not ordinary. In fact, it had come from the causal ocean, and Lord Brahma had used it to wash Sri Vamanadev's lotus feet. That same water was now flowing as the very pure water of Padita Pavani, Bhagavati Ganga. With great faith, Jahnvi Muni bowed his head to her. And what did he do? When you really see holy places, you take some water and then take achamanam. But this rishi is so powerful. When he was thinking about this Ganga, when he tried to scoop little water, the whole Ganga got in his hand. And he took the achamana, whole Ganga is gone. So, now what happened here now? This left the Ganga who was flowing nicely so far and dancing in ecstasy was now drank as a whole by Jahnvi Muni. The Janu Muni is not ordinary saint. So Bhagiratha Maharaja was so confused. All of a sudden, Ganga Devi was drunk by the Janu Muni. He then realized, he pleaded the sage to please release the Ganga Devi from your body, so that I could accomplish the mission of bringing Ganga Devi all the way to the sea. Because there was a curse. His ancestors, like 60,000, people, the souls, they really landed in the hell or something, so they could not do anything because of something they did there to Rishi. Anyway, so he was pleading, for forgiveness, please bring the Ganga back again. And then Jahnvi Muni just slightly scratched his thigh, boom, just a small mark. With the rippling sound, the Ganga Devi re-emerged out and encircled the entire area of Sri Navadvipa Dham, and flowing in each way as to divide the land into 9 islands. That's what we are seeing. So because she had entered the sage's body and manifested again from his thigh, Sri Ganga Devi became known as Sri Janu Muni's dear daughter Jahnavi. So the Jahnavi is the another name for Ganga. And this place became known as Jahnudvipa. Okay? So now, if you really visit the place, you will be really surprised to see, because it's a big incident. So many things have nicely happened. But if you see, now it is actually, there is a small statue of Jahnvi Muni is actually there under the, one banyan tree, big banyan tree. But it is actually situated in a road called Katwa Road. So this is the place where she had ashram, but now everything is all gone. So only there is a small statue there to represent. Anyway, so now we talked about Ganga Devi, and once in Emperor Akbar's court, a question came out. The question was, who is superior? Ganga Devi or Yamuna Devi? So those who resided on the banks of Ganga, they all said, oh, Ganga Devi is the superior. And those who were living on the banks of Yamuna, they said, no, Yamuna Devi is the superior. So the controversy could not be resolved, and it went to the court of this Akbar, Emperor Akbar. And they were trying to discuss. And at that time, Sri Jiva Goswami was performing bhajana in Vrindavan. And he, of course, he was actually, he took the Kshetra sannyas, so not to move from Vrindavan at all. So, but anyway, so now this Emperor Akbar wanted to really put an end to this discussion. It was actually going on almost every day in his court. So he requested Jiva Goswami to come to Agra and hoping that he could resolve this issue. But Jiva Goswami was not prepared to leave Braja, even for one day. But anyway, Emperor Akbar arranged in such a way, Jiva Goswami will be brought in palanquin and with respect. And then after that, after he really talked about, after they really hear his response to this question, then he will be also brought back. So in that, anyway, so the emperor arranged made all the arrangements, and Jiva Goswami thus attained. And what did he say? He said, according to the scriptures, Sri Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Sri Vamanadeva is a part of Lord Krishna himself. And Sri Ganga is from the causal ocean, and she washed his lotus feet. On the other hand, Sri Yamuna Devi or Kalindi is one of the queens of Sri Krishna. As Yamuna is dear, most beloved, she is not different from him. So now you can decide who is superior. But however, the benefit one gets, also he really added more about Yamuna Devi. He said, the benefit one gets from taking bath in Ganga is attained simply by thinking about Yamuna. You just think about Yamuna. Yamuna, Tira, Yedu, Varada. You just think you are already taken bath in the holy place. So by bathing in Ganga, sins are removed. That is true. But by bathing in the Yamuna, one attains Krishna Prema or Braja Prema. Krishna enjoys performing pastimes with his Sakas and Sakis on Yamuna's bank and in her waters. But, however, there is something special I want to add about Ganga Devi. A special consideration is to be made in this connection because Sri Ganga Devi joins with Sri Yamuna at Prayag, and together they proceed to Navadvipa, the place of Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So the Ganga flows on the eastern side and the Yamuna flows on the western side, but all coming together anyway. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performs his various pastimes in the combination of these two waters. Such great fortune places this Bhagavati Bhagirathi, Ganga, on an equal status to Sri Yamuna. Thus, Ganga is capable of giving Gaura Prema here in Navadvipa, which is not different from Krishna Prema. So all members of the assembly appreciated Sri Jiva Goswami's conclusion, and Emperor Akbar also received the great fortune of getting a darshana of this Mahatma Jiva Goswami. Anyway, you all also know that Bhishma Deva was the son of Ganga Devi and King Santanu. But Ganga Devi is the daughter of Jahnud Muni. Look at the incident that I really mentioned. So Jahnudvipa Muni is the maternal grandfather to Bhishma Deva. So actually Bhishma Deva studied from, remember like actually Ganga Devi, there is a lot of history over there. So here what did he say is, here Bhishma Deva studied from Brihaspati, the guru of the heavenly planets, and when his studies were completed, Ganga Devi brought him back to earth and left him in the care of his father Santanu. So Bhishma Deva also used to come to the ashram of Jahnu Muni, his maternal grandfather is at this place. You see in the slide, there's a small structure, there's a temple there, and there in the temple you see basically the Mahabharata, how Bhishma Deva was really shot by the arrows of Arjuna and lying in the bed. That was basically what they really have. So he also came here. So that place, what you see is called Bhishma Tila. Tila means place. Bhishma Tila. And today we can see a very, very small temple only here. Okay. So in this place, we see Bhishma Deva lying on the bed of arrows shot by Arjuna. Anyway, when Bhishma used to come here to see his maternal grandfather Jahnu Muni told that Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Lord, would appear in Navadvipa Dham. So Jahnudvipa Muni also instructed him on so many religious principles, political science, the Supreme Lord, about Supreme Lord, and devotional service. So when Bhishma Deva was lying on his deathbed in arrows at Kurukshetra at the time of his passing away, but then he was told to instruct something to Yudhishthira and everybody. So that was arranged by Lord Krishna. Because Jahnu Muni was explaining so many things about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see that in the Vishnu Sahasranama also, we see that Bhishma Deva told about Lord Gauranga of what he heard from his maternal grandfather Jahnu Muni. But many of the scholars here, they really read Vishnu Sahasranama, they do not understand. They come with their own meanings, something else. But what he meant was, Suvarna Varno Hemango Varanga Chandanangadi. It is there, Vishnu Sahasranama, Sutra 79. What is the meaning? His body with the sandal paste all over, and which is very beautiful. With his effulgence, he reminds about what? Melted gold. So he is a what? Suvarna Varno Hemango. Suvarna means gold. Golden color is the Supreme Lord. See, that is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But I haven't seen any of the Vishnu Sahasranama that the Paramparas really translate to really give this meaning. No. But actually, he got it from his maternal grandfather. He was meditating on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he instructed about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only that, Sannyasa Krit Samakshando Nishta Shanti Parayanaha. He also said that he will appear as a renounced sannyasi. Where is this? Where, if you see the Vishnu Sahasranama, what is to do with the sannyasi? There's nothing like that. Huh? See, here the meaning is, he will appear as a renounced sannyasi, unperturbed and serene. He is the great abode of peace and devotion who forces atheists and mayavadis to be quiet and make them shut up. Anyway, so that is about the Jahnudvipa. Of course, there are more things, but we don't have that much time to cover everything. Now we move on to the next island. The Modadrumadvipa is our next island to cover. This Dvipa is also known as Mamagachi. Okay, Mamagachi. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Modadrumadvipa is also the birthplace of a very unique character, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Who is this Vrindavan Das Thakur? He is none other than Vedavyas, who compiled Vedas and also Puranas. So many things he has done. So he appeared to write down the history and Leela of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So whenever these personalities, the Godhead is descending, there will be also somebody will be coming along to write down the history of those all the Leelas and pastimes. So this Vrindavan Das Thakura was actually born to a unique, very, very high devotee called Narayani Devi. She was actually the niece of Srivasa Pandita. Remember Srivasa Anga and everything we went through. So this Narayani Devi was the niece of Srivasa Pandita. Who is Srivasa Pandita? Who is none other than Narada Muni. Anyway, so when young, this Narayani Devi lovingly accepted the Mahaprasad remnants from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had so much of affection on the child. And Vrindavan Das Thakura was born as the son of this Narayani Devi. It is also said that once Vrindavan Das Thakura as a small baby sucked one of the fingers of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or something. Thus he was given so much of knowledge and became a poet. So, anyway, after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, they all moved to this, because they were there in Navadvipa. Remember Srivasa Angan is in Navadvipa, Mayapura, near Mayapura. So they moved to this Modadrumadvipa that we are actually talking about, which is also called Mamagachi. And there they were actually living and they are doing their bhajana, and their deity is Madanam Gopala, as you see in the picture. It's very, very wonderful. So this is the birthplace. So I just have a small shot that you can actually watch. This is Mamkachi, where Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's birthplace is Mamkachi. Vrindavan Das Thakur is Vyasadeva, who wrote Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata. There was a close associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Vasudeva Datta, who was also living in this Dvipa. Even though he was a householder, he was a grahastha, he was so special that he did not keep anything for his future or to live. He did absolutely nothing. Everything, what did he do with whatever the earnings that he had? He spent everything for the service of Mahaprabhu. Everything. Unconditionally. He did not care anything about his life or future, because what we normally do, we make sure that we are safe, all the savings, everything there, taking care of all the, everything, and then only the remaining he will give to any charity. Isn't it? He's totally no. He would not have anything for him. Absolutely. So that is why once Mahaprabhu said this. My body, he said this 3 times, by the way. My body actually belongs to this Vasudeva Datta. Whoever to whom he sells me, I am sold. Mahaprabhu said this 3 times. Anyway, now here comes a very amazing history of this Mamagachi. Sri Saranga Deva was a close associate of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He resided here in Mamagachi, which is another name for Modadrumadvipa, as I mentioned again. Once, as Sri Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was returning home with Srivasa and Sri Saranga Deva, he turned to Saranga Deva and told, he said, "Oh Saranga Deva, why don't you accept a disciple? It is so difficult for you at this old age to maintain your deities, yourself, and the ashrama." Because he had ashrama, he had deity, everything. You must get a disciple who can help you to take care of the deities, and then you can join me in Sankirtana. So Saranga Deva replied, "But Mahaprabhu, I cannot find a qualified disciple, therefore I cannot accept anyone." See, nowadays that's the problem. Nobody is listening whether the disciple is qualified or not. See, that's another thing. Nobody worries about. That's not good. Mahaprabhu then said, okay, no problem. Whomever you accept as a disciple will become qualified. Whomever. Then Saranga agreed and said, oh, to honor your orders, because it was an order from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is guaranteeing now. To honor your order, whoever I see tomorrow, I will accept that person as a disciple for me. He then paid his obeisances to the Lord and returned to his ashram. Next morning, Saranga got up and went to take bath in the nearby Ganga. Ganga was flowing right near there. Because Ganga used to change directions also. Even now it really does. So there, he saw a dead body of a boy floating in that water. So remembering Mahaprabhu's order, Saranga said, yes, he must be my disciple. So immediately he really took the dead body to the river bank. And there was a tree. I will show the tree. Oh, that tree is also there, you'll see. Same tree. Nearby, he really pulls the dead body of the boy. And to the ear, right ear, he was giving the mantra. All the initiating mantra, he was chanting in the right ear. Astonishingly. When the mantra entered the body, the boy's ear, he returned to life. So he immediately paid obeisances to Sri Saranga Muni, and it has said, oh, yesterday, on my occasion of my sacred thread ceremony, I was bitten by a poisonous black snake. I don't know what happened after that. So the news went to all over the place. When the boy's parents, all relatives and friends also heard that he was alive now, they all came to this place of Saranga. They impressed the boy and said, when you were bitten by that snake, we could not do anything because there was no remedy could save you. Because you were bitten by a snake and it cannot be burned. So we placed you in the Ganga, and by the mercy of Sri Saranga, you have returned to life now. They actually wanted the boy to go with them. But the boy said, completely flatly refused. No, I am not coming to you, to the home, to you. Now I belong to my Gurudev, who is Saranga. He vowed that he would spend the entire life to serve his Guru, Saranga. This boy later became known as Murari Thakura. So that is why if you see that, this is Saranga and Murari's place, they always say together. Saranga, Murari. Like that they even say that one. So there is that Bakula tree that you really see. I put the picture again and I will actually show you again. It's right here. This is the close-up of that same Bagula tree standing as a witness to that event. Because this was nearby the Ganges was actually flowing, and this is right there. He pulled the body and then he was giving the initiation there. And this is the ashram. It's very, very unique. Actually, I was spending a little more time there, and so please see that. So, and the unique thing is, you will not forget this Garuda. As soon as you see this Garuda, this is Saranga Dev's ashram. Okay, I'll just play for a while. Just. Okay. இந்த மாதிரி வேலை வச்சுக்கிறாங்க கூடத்துக்குள்ள மாதிரி ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. So this Modadrumadvipa or Mamagachi corresponds to the Bandirvana of Brajamandal. In Bandirvana, you may see, you really heard that, I really covered that. The pastime of Krishna marrying in Gandharva marriage to Radharani, and Lord Brahma came as a conducting, the priest. Banyan tree, that is still over there. And similarly now, there is a story, corresponding story regarding this Bandirvana is mapping, and also Banyan tree, same thing again. So in the previous Kalpa, when Lord Ramachandra was banished to live in the forest, he, Lakshmana and Sita Devi, they all came to this Modadrumadvipa and sat under a very large banyan tree, which was spanning for a long distance actually. Note that Bandirvana of Brajamandal also there is a large banyan tree. Anyway, so in Modadrumadvipa, Lord Rama asked Lakshmana to build a hut. So while living in this forest, seeing the beauty of the forest, Lord Ram was just smiled for something. Something came in his memory. Lord Ram, then he smiled, and Sita Devi immediately saw Lord Ram was smiling. Because always what happened with the wives are very curious when the husband is actually smiling by themselves. They get double curiosity. So Sita Devi, when he asked, Lord Ram told, "Oh Sita Devi, in this pastime, I will weep in separation from you, because I will find a reason to abandon you. And then I will worship you with the deity of yourself made of gold. And in the next Leela, you will weep in separation from me when I will be in golden color. And you will worship me with the deity of me." As you all know, in Ramayana, after bringing Sita Devi from Sri Lanka, Lord Ram soon had to banish Sita Devi to the forest. And after banishing Sita Devi to the forest, Lord Rama worshipped the golden deity of Sita Devi when performing the yajna. So Lord Ram also was telling that he would inaugurate the Sankirtan movement and chanting the holy names of Krishna. Then Sita Devi was asking, why will you perform such pastime? Then Lord Rama told that it would be to bestow Krishna prema to so many jivas. He also said, "You will be with me as Vishnu Priya." Kaikeyi along with Aditi. This Kaikeyi Aditi. So will appear as Sachi Devi, who will be my mother. This huge banyan tree, which will be called Rama Vata, but it will disappear at the beginning of Kali Yuga. And in that Kali Yuga, that comes Lord Chaitanya, because, right? That is when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the golden form. And Vishnu Priya, who is Sita Devi only. And also Bhakti Devi. Vishnu Priya is Bhakti Devi. Worshipped the deity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, weeping in separation during the Sannyasa Leela. So next week, we will cover the Sannyasa Leela of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and which will be ending the Navadvipa Parikrama, this virtual Parikrama for this particular series. Vanja Kalpa Charuvchecha Kripa Sindhupyevacha Paditanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare.